Hello everybody! Today we are watching a YouTube video, The Disappearance of Fillion. And then later we're going to play some Persona 5 Royal. And I'm hiding right now because I don't really have a lot of room here, as you can see. So we're just going to snuggle up in the corner. Hope everybody's doing well. I also deleted my chat on accident, so I had to re-add my chat. And my chat looks a little bit better like this, so we're gonna keep it like that. Hi Tyrell. Hi Captain. Hi Jankus. Welcome in everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna eat some snacks while we watch this YouTube video. You're back home now for the summer. That's awesome. That sounds fun. Okay, so we are gonna...
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
I just want you all to know this is only my second VTuber video of this year, and around the time this video is uploaded, we are like 134 days into the current year, and I think that deserves at least some praise. I most definitely could have done more. I have a lot of things to talk about when it comes to this form of media, because there are so many of them, and almost anyone can become one, even the most chromosome deficient.
Here's my impression of a Minecraft villager getting backshot.
Fucking Chibi Doggy.
But as I've found out through the extensive
so
research I've done on this channel, being a VTuber isn't as easy as it looks. For one, you have to deal with this stereotype that many people just assume you're an obese, sweaty man with a voice changer, and you're using what is essentially a cute anime girl to hide that fact. You also have to deal with the VTuber community itself, which can slowly erode your mental over the years more than any competitive league game ever could, and it eventually just leaves you as a husk of your former self.
Every morning, Pippa wants you to look in the mirror. And to stand as tall as you can. Not on your tippy toes, but like stand straight, okay? And say, I'm a good person. I can do better today than I did yesterday.
Where's your fucking art degree, buddy? Where's your fucking art degree? Oh, you have one? Okay, Hitler.
And let's not forget you also get exposed to and have to deal with the Guna side of the VTuber community.
I would literally never stop trying to impregnate Pippa.
Every day I would wake her up by in her, and every night I would in her.
Thank
right
you for the
before
head
going to sleep,
pats.
which I would do with my dick stuck inside her bunny pussy. I would take some Viagra before bed just to maintain my erection so that she'll be ready in the morning.
That message keeps going, by the way. There is at least 2 more paragraphs of it going into graphic detail about their fantasy to have a loving family and fill their favourite VTuber, to say the least. But as I was saying, being a VTuber, or more accurately a VTuber with a large audience with a lot of eyes on them, isn't as easy as it looks, from managing a community that large to trying to make entertaining content for your audience, to even dealing with drama, which are all things their fleshy counterparts also have to deal with. However, where they differ slightly is when you're a VTuber and you're thinking of maybe hanging up your virtual foreskin, you can just do a so-called graduation, which is a term for when VTubers decide to retire their virtual avatar or persona, and in most cases either rebrand as another VTuber, or in some cases just leave it all behind entirely. And it's incredibly easy to do this as a VTuber, as most never reveal personal information regarding themselves or what they look like. Meaning if they do step away from content creation, nobody is probably ever going to recognize them, and they can just up and leave, no strings attached. This is a VTuber fan's worst nightmare. Well, obviously alongside hearing their so-called she actually has a boyfriend, of which they probably do. Wake up. But this leads on to the topic of today's video, as a certain VTuber.
Okay. So, did Fillion just, like, randomly leave? You're making burger and waffle fries? And you won't share with me? Fuck you! But, like, Fillion's my favorite. I'm really upset. Her and Chibidoki are my favorite VTubers. They really are.
YouTuber not only abruptly stopped making content, but recently wiped a lot of their past online activity, with no warning or announcement of why they did this. All that was left behind was a cryptic message and a rabbit hole that is still yet to be solved. The last time she streamed was over 6 months ago, and it's led people, especially her fans and people associated with her, to come up with a range of theories, like she was banned out from making content and graduated, she's rebranding, she's dead, she got deported from the country.
She got deported from the country? Fillion's closest friend maybe has contacts, says Fillion is back in the Philippines. Rebrand or re-debut, having a baby, crashing with Chibi. Simply decided to leave. A literal normal VTuber hiatus, and we're making it out of nothing burger out of it.
Country she's in, or even she got pregnant and quit so she could have the baby. This only ever happens in the VTubing community, by the way. Either way, it's got a lot of people online worried and wondering where exactly she went. This VTuber is Fillion, and today we're going to be jumping into the rabbit hole head first to see what all the fuss is about, see what people have discovered from the little information they were given, and if they have come anywhere close to answering the question of where she is. But first, as usual, who is Fillion?
So what do you think of men who get cooked?
I think that's really sad. They should, can I say that?
What?
I think they should beat their wives.
It's said that Fillion started streaming all the way back in early 2021. However, some have claimed she was active way earlier in 2020, but the clips of said streams and videos are no longer available. Now, Fillion originally, although being labelled a VTuber, initially didn't even know what a VTuber was, and her whole streaming career only started because she wanted to play on a Minecraft server with her friends, but you had to be a streamer to play on the server, so she decided there and then to start streaming. Her earlier streams were mainly on games like Minecraft and VRChat. Yes, VRChat of all places. These earlier streams were mainly watched by friends that she had met through things like VRChat, with her first stream averaging 7 viewers, which for a first stream is actually pretty good.
Whenever Puggy Wuggy, whenever I drop them through the bottom of the world, they kill me half the time on their way down.
In that first stream, she would decide to add a picture of her
Whenever,
VRChat model to the bottom
whenever.
right of the screen. I assume so her viewers had something to look at, but little did she know that one decision would actually lead to a very promising career that would change her life going forward. Which is a very similar story to the average Warframe experience. Because as soon as you click that play button for the first time, you either come out as a degenerate grinder with thousands of hours, or you come out questioning your masculinity and your identity. There is no in between. It's very similar to the War Thunder phenomenon. But anyway, Fillion simply putting a PNG of her avatar in the corner of the screen was the catalyst for her success. Primarily because it introduced her to the world of VTubing, which is a mistake I also made. Someone would come into her stream and think the PNG image was a VTubing model, and because it was static and not moving, they would tell her her VTubing model is broken. But Fillion didn't know what a VTuber was, or what the fuck this guy was talking about.
That's what I did. So I put like a little tiny PNG of the mint model, the low-fill model right here, and it was a static image. Someone came into my stream and they said, "Hey, did you know your camera broke? Your little VTube camera broke?" And I said, "What's a VTuber?"
But upon researching it, she decided to become a VTuber, but not a conventional VTuber. Because one, she would simply just take a model from VRChat and pop it into a VTubing software so she could track her face and technically be considered a VTuber, which would be an apparent problem later down the line. But she would also later use her unconventional means of being a VTuber to her advantage. And it would become one of the main things she was known for.
3, 2, 1.
I fucking love her backflips.
Oh, here we go.
She's older than me and she can do fucking backflips.
I can do it! No! I took 6 laxatives. I'm about to do a backflip. You're watching the Fillion channel, and I call this one the brown flip.
I like how our tails like...
LeBron! Ah! Stop!
Fillion and subsequently her streams became known for their high energy and somewhat impressive acrobatic skills, which most times resulted in her damaging her VR equipment, and she constantly had to keep replacing said equipment. Over the next 6 months, Fillion would grow her audience to the point where she was now averaging over 100 viewers per stream, and by the end of the same year, she would average 4 times that.
That's
However,
crazy.
at the start of the following year, due to a certain event, she would blow up even more.
I'm about to blow.
And that blow up is once again something to do with VRChat. As Fillion was now somewhat well known within the space, she would get invited to another streamer's event, that being Rufflegator, someone very well known within both the streaming and VRChat space. He was hosting an on-stream event where another streamer throughout multiple rounds would go on dates with multiple candidates, with said candidates usually being other streamers or people known within the VRChat space. And round by round, the streamer going on all of these dates would have to eliminate candidates one by one based on how that candidate performed during their date. And I know what you're thinking, but no, these dates aren't taken seriously and they're usually just for entertainment purposes. Rufflegator had already hosted this event multiple times with multiple big streamers, and Fillion was invited to participate as a date candidate in the next one, with the subject of this specific stream being the well-known streamer Mizkif. Obviously this was before recent events happened. The event was streamed in front of thousands of viewers, and this would give Fillion a chance to show these thousands of viewers her high energy and usual on-stream antics. And she most definitely didn't disappoint.
She's fantastic. I mean...
I'm so glad you guys like it. Oh.
Yeah, bless you.
Oh, that's my wall.
That actually sounded real.
Alright.
Ready?
Back and forth we go. Alright, all you. Just speak your words to me. Oh my god, you're so good at this.
I'm so well at this.
Yes, indeed. Oh my gosh. You're like a medium well-done steak. Just perfect.
Is this like the POV of a paraplegic's dating life or something? However, no matter how much Fillion tried, she was ultimately eliminated in later rounds.
Congratulations, Momo! You are the winner! Fillion, get the fuck out of here! Yeah.
Well, at least she didn't lose to the thing that looks like it was created in the Ark Survival Evolved character creator. But even though Fillion didn't win, she was still able to show the people watching how entertaining she could be, even if she was only there for one stream and for a very limited time. Fillion would go live 2 days later doing her usual content. However, a lot more people were present for said stream, over 1,000 to be specific, primarily because Fillion had left such a positive impression on the viewers of that streamed event, so a lot of them would go check out her stream, leading to a huge leap in viewership and support, which would ultimately stunlock Fillion and she would get a bit emotional.
Wait, are there really 1,400 people watching right now? Wait, is that real or not? Yeah?
Whenever.
Oh, Taylor! Are you serious?
From this point on, Fillion would keep growing. She would do more collabs with big streamers, and she would integrate more into the VTuber community, becoming well acquainted with those within the space, which led to the creation of popular clips like this.
So what do you think of men who get cooked?
I think that's really sad. They should, can I say that?
What?
I think they should beat their wives.
That's true.
No!
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean,
people absolutely loved Fillion's character and her on-stream behavior.
If I could do a backflip for you guys, I would.
By the end of 2023, she was averaging well over 5,000 viewers per stream, and clips of her were being shared everywhere.
Welcome in, everybody!
Even though things were looking good, she would...
We are watching, the disappearance of Fillion, and then we're gonna play some Persona 5 Royal. Welcome in, everybody. We're trying to figure out what happened to Fillion.
Into a major problem. Now, Fillion had never really had an official VTuber debut. A VTuber debut is probably the most important part of being a VTuber. It's mainly used to announce the start of their VTubing career or a significant change to their already existing content, like a new model or lore drop. And despite being assigned the title of VTuber, Fillion had never debuted or really changed much about her model. It was still a random avatar taken from VR chat and put into a VTubing software, and that's the way it stayed since she started streaming. And some would argue by the time she was already well known within the VTubing space, it was already too late for her to debut with a new model, because most people recognized her not only down to her on-stream antics, but also that specific model she used. That's how a lot of people knew it was Fillion, so it would be hard for her to just change the model without it affecting things like her brand.
It's kinda late.
So she just didn't. She continued using that same model for a number of years. She even made things such as plushies and merch based on that avatar. But there was a bit of a problem with her using said model, and the problem becomes increasingly apparent when you go back to 2021 and look at how she obtained her recognizable model and the things she did to make her start as a VTuber.
I didn't know what a VTuber was, but it gave me an idea. What if I took my VR chat model and I started face tracking with it? So what I did was, I went and ripped the model from VR chat illegally. I uploaded it into some software that I downloaded off the internet, which is the same software I'm still using today.
Oh, okay, okay, so okay, I'll call you where? Okay.
Okay. Because I saw this girl DM video. She recommended this software called Luppet. I said, okay, that'll work.
So Fillion had ripped a model directly from VRChat without the creator's permission and based her whole brand off it, which is very bad and short-sighted, especially when considering things like the terms and conditions of said model, and if she was actually allowed to use it commercially for things like streaming or use its likeness for merch. And that's not mentioning the problem if she didn't pay for the avatar and just stole it. With all of that said, if she did even unknowingly break the avatar creator's TOS in any way, it could be grounds for litigation and she could be sued because she used their property commercially without their permission. And it's kind of ironic in hindsight because the very tutorial she mentions following to become a VTuber advised her about this very thing.
15 hours of videos. That's what I did before I got started on anything. But the other thing is, make sure you have full permission to use your avatar.
Yes.
Don't take anything from licensed work. Don't have any licensed.
From this one decision she made early on in her streaming career, you can probably guess what happened next. In July of 2024, the creator of the VR chat model would eventually learn who Fillion was and what she was doing, specifically using the model they created to things like merch without even notifying them. They would eventually make a public statement saying that Fillion had no permission to do any of the things she was doing, and that going forward, they have requested things like the merch she was releasing to be suspended, expressing they didn't even want any royalties or benefits, they just wanted to protect the copyright of the character they made. In the following days, a lot of people would pick up on the story, and Fillion began to get a lot of shit thrown her way because of it, but Fillion never really addressed the controversy, she just streamed through it, which was actually a good move because she wasn't fueling the controversy directly, and a lot of people moved on from it as time went on. But behind the scenes, she was already contacting and working things out with the creator, which would eventually conclude in 2025 when they made another statement, which was them basically saying everything was sorted out and Fillion had satisfied their requests. But yes, people still criticized Fillion for what she did. Some have said critiques are still present to this day, but by the end of it, she made things right with the creator, something ideally she should have done initially, but better late than
13
never.
gift
Going past
subs!
this, she wouldn't have any more significant controversies, and
That's
she
crazy!
would still continue to grow, averaging 6,000 viewers per stream. She continued with her usual antics, she collaborated with multiple big creators, she even hosted a VTuber award show, and just overall her streaming career was going very well.
That's
which
still
is
so
something
much.
Since this career originated from her putting a static PNG in the corner of her screen. But Fillion's career in very late 2025 would take an unexpected turn because she would suddenly just disappear.
Fillion hasn't streamed since last year. Well, the reason why is because we're actually in a court case right now. When she got caught jacking off to my character, to my stream, I actually did we did have to take that to court, and the kids are involved. And
so on the 7th of December 2025, Fillion would stream as usual. It was quite a long stream spanning multiple days where she would only end when she finished Minecraft Hardcore, accompanied by other creators like Vedal, Krelly, and Vedal's AI, Neuro. But upon eventually finishing the game, that's when things started getting quite odd. There was weird sounds in the background and her stream was starting to glitch, and then suddenly the stream cut to a pre-recorded video.
Oh frick. Oh.
I didn't think it would be this. It's happening. It's time for me to go for a little while. You'll be able to see the world, my world.
The stream would then abruptly end, and Fillion wouldn't go live the next day, but then days turned into weeks, and then months, and it's to the point now where she hasn't streamed for the last 6 months, which left both her fanbase and the wider VTuber community to question where exactly she went. And people came up with a number of theories. Some thought it was another situation with her avatar's creator, maybe there was more compliance issues there, but the creator of the avatar hadn't made a statement like they did before, and there was no indication that there was any issues with her model. Another theory was that she was dealing with personal issues and things happening in her life, with the most mentioned being the theory she was pregnant and having a child. Once again, there is no evidence for this, it's more of a joke than anything, but if we just lobotomize ourselves real quick and assume it is true, well, yeah, she would have to take a break. Can you imagine her trying to do her usual acrobatics whilst pregnant, and she suddenly loses her footing and then falls and... I only said that because I wanted an excuse to use that clip, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that theory is impossible because you're assuming...
I could imagine Fillion doing that shit while pregnant. Okay, sleep well. Sleep well,
anyone associated with the VTuber community is
I
a
need to put
sex
my
haver,
phone
which
right
is
in
just
front of me.
wishful thinking to say the least.
Okay.
But yeah, there were a range of theories circulating, from this was her simply just taking a break because she was burnt out from streaming, to in the worst case, this is her fully quitting streaming. I think even one person who was friends with Fillion made a joke that she got deported, which made a few people angry and they promptly threw their shit at them, but fans would turn their attention to people associated with Fillion looking to get answers. But many were also in the dark, and the people that were actually in the know or in contact with Fillion wouldn't divulge much information.
I can't say anything. There is nothing to comment. There is nothing to say. Of course, Fillion's okay. She's fine. She's fine, guys. Guys, she's fine.
Her fans' concerns got even worse recently when, for some reason, Fillion's accounts on multiple platforms were completely wiped, which included her YouTube channel with millions of views where every video was just gone. Most of her presence on the internet was basically wiped, with no word from Fillion at all, and most didn't know where she was or if she would ever return. Well, just not yet anyway, because when Fillion left, she didn't just up and stop streaming without leaving something behind. Some eagle-eyed fans of Fillion on the day she left would notice something weird about her last moments on stream, because in the last moments of it, where it glitches for the final time, there is a set of characters, and these characters were associated with the end text of a YouTube link, and if you popped that into your search bar, you get a YouTube channel with multiple videos. This was an ARG, a game her viewers had to play to find out the truth of what happened to her, and perhaps if they solved it, Fillion would return. And I will say this about Fillion's fans, they are either the next Einsteins or, more likely knowing her fanbase, extremely unemployed or probably neurodivergent in some way, because they went to work on trying to solve this ARG. A giant Google document was created, this time not to expose anyone but to archive their findings, and it's honestly impressive what they managed to do. They found clues on the videos present on this newfound channel, they fully dissected each live stream with some that were multiple hours long, looking as deep as performing audio forensics on each live stream to find hidden messages. And most times it turned out they were looking way too far into things than they actually had to. They managed to find clues and hidden messages like "I thought I had more time," "keep looking," and "Fillion is lost." Eventually a link to a Discord server was discovered, which then led to a Minecraft server, and on the server they began finding weird structures and messages, of which they then decoded and found a link to a website called blackfileindex.org, which required specific prompts and phrases to proceed, and once they got past that, they were greeted with a desktop with multiple icons, and they eventually found more messages alluding to what happened to Fillion and lore surrounding her. But there was still more to be found. They hadn't completed the ARG just yet, and they still hadn't found the answer to what really happened to Fillion. But all of that changed with the next thing they found quite recently. They shut the website down. The new YouTube channel also went poof. In fact, the Discord channel dedicated to the ARG was also shut down, supposedly because people were being dicks to the mods. And that's where the ARG is to this.
When I say I love Fillion, I like watching YouTube shorts of Fillion. That's what I mean. I don't know anything about Fillion, okay? I just like watching her YouTube shorts.
They are stuck and can't proceed because one of the essential components is no longer available. I would say maybe this is a part of the ARG, but it doesn't really look like it. I mean, it is entirely possible people were being so toxic and began harassing both mods and people associated with Fillion to get answers to where she is, so they just shut it down to significantly reduce that. Well, that or maybe the ARG was left uncompleted for way too long, so they just got rid of it all and Fillion is going to return soon anyway. But there hasn't been a clear answer to what she's doing as of yet. If you want my opinion, this is most definitely a re-debut or rebrand. Do you really think she would go to these lengths just to quit or allude to her getting deported or something? No, she's probably going to debut with a new model any day now, and this whole thing with the ARG and wiping of accounts was probably implemented to build anticipation for the debut. Because as I said before, thought if she just debuted with a new completely different model out of nowhere, it would probably confuse a lot of people that are used to her model that she's been using for years, and it might possibly damage her brand in some way, which may be the reason why she hasn't changed the model for over 4 years. But by generating anticipation around it and basically having the whole VTubing community's eyes on her disappearance, so when she does eventually come back, a lot of people are going to be there waiting for her new model, meaning it's going to be an easier transition from the model she's known for and used for years and probably still doesn't have full control over the copyright for, to a completely new model that is vastly different and probably will change the face of her brand. And if this was her plan, she has definitely achieved her goal. Most of the VTubing community is already anticipating her eventual return. But I'm 99.99% sure this is what is happening here. And in the very impossible situation where I'm wrong and this isn't a re-debut with a new model that changes her brand, I don't know, I'll hang from a ceiling fan by my testicles. That's how confident I am. And you have to take into account she has alluded to this new model months before she stopped streaming, and people associated with her have recently talked about it.
It's not gonna be a normal debut. It's gonna be probably the first time in well, it's definitely the first time, but maybe the last time anyone has ever done something like this. So it'll be a little bit different, chat. Instead of just debuting, I've been preparing to show you guys my world.
Some people have theorized it's because she lost rights to her model and she's been struggling and needing to clear everything off the internet to try and survive. But I can assure you that's not true. We know for sure things are fine with the original model's creator, and she has been working on a new model for a while. I don't know when that's coming out, but that's all good.
Yeah, it's definitely a debut, and any day now it's gonna drop. I just don't know why some people are getting so impatient to the point where they are losing their shit and attacking other people. And that probably played a hand in the ARG ending so abruptly. It was supposed to be a fun side quest, not taken that seriously. But yep, that's just something I wanted to talk about today. Your favourite acrobatic white-haired gremlin will be back soon. I'm most definitely correct in my conclusion. If not, I'll be able to use my testicles like nunchucks in the future. But I'm now going to get my daily anal fisting on Deadlock, and yeah, that's all I had to say, and bye-bye.
Okay, so, I'll watch one more video. Captain, I promise I was not ignoring your messages. I could only see my Twitch chat. Now I can see my YouTube and Twitch chat. Hello, Bubble. Welcome in. Can we watch Zonkers, What Happened to Jack After Red Dead? What was it? Did you want me to watch this one? I've never played Red Dead Redemption, so I don't know anything about it. Ooh, you're gonna be able to do an album? That's cool, Legend. That's really exciting.
Your last one.
We'll watch this one, and then we're gonna play some Persona.
about people who don't care
I
about you.
can't see my YouTube
Hey,
chat.
look at this.
while we're watching
What?
this, so.
This necklace I made.
Necklace?
For Mama.
What a fine young man. In such complex circumstances.
Okay, Jankus, I hope you sleep well and I hope you have a good day. Thank you for stopping in. I always enjoy seeing your face. You funny, silly guy. Good night. Sleep well, Jankus.
Agent Milton, Agent Ross.
Where's my goddamn son? Where is he? Where's my son?
We will find him. We will bring him back to you. And we will kill any fool that had the temerity to touch one hair on that boy's head. Abigail, you have my word.
Oh Lord, if you hear me, please hold my hand. 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 You knew my father. Please understand.
What you just saw was the final scene of the Red Dead Redemption story. From being in a family of gang members since he was born to watching his father die, Jack Marston finally gets his revenge and kills the man who shot down his father.
But what happens after this? Where did Jack go? And does he continue to live out his days in Beecher's Hope?
Nothing is said by Rockstar as to what happens to Jack after this, but we can theorize. In today's video, we're going to be going over all the popular theories as to what happened to Jack from what career he took to when he died.
And finally, we're going to be going over the psychology of Jack Marston. Basically, we're going to be taking into consideration what he has gone through in his life and what effects that might have on his mental health.
Before we start, we want to give a shout out to our fellow Red Dead YouTuber Kid Colt for providing us with an enormous amount of information that will be used in this video. Without further ado, let's dive deep into the life of Jack Marston. The Freedom Fighter Theory. So there are a lot of theories about Jack killing Edgar Ross and becoming a gunslinger than fighting in World War I. While I do think this is a cool idea, I also think it goes against everything Jack was brought up around. Jack was raised around government-hating, law-killing, low-down criminals, not to mention the fact that his father was killed by these exact men. I think this is reason enough to believe Jack wouldn't fight in any type of war. At least not an American war.
The first paragraph of this Reddit post talks about how Jack may have actually fought in the Mexican Revolution. This would actually make sense due to a large part of the story consists of John fighting in the Mexican Revolution, all in order to get Bill Williamson and Javier Escuela.
I heard you was coming. You took your time, no? Come on, you're not gonna shoot your own brother, are you? We was family.
Yeah, we were. Then you and Dutch went crazy and family didn't mean so much.
The Writer Theory. This video wouldn't be complete if we didn't talk about this theory. This might be the most popular theory when it comes to the life of Jack Marston after Red Dead. Many believe after Red Dead Redemption, Jack ended up becoming a writer, and this is due to Jack having a noticeable passion in reading books throughout both games. He was reading storybooks from the age of 4, and throughout all the Red Dead games, you can easily find Jack with a book in his hand.
Another reason why people believe in this theory is because there's a book in GTA that is called Red Dead, written by J. Marston, the J. Marston being Jack. However, this should really be taken with a grain of salt because it's probably just an Easter egg put in by the devs for people to find. The reason for this is because there is another book right next to it called American History by H. Potter, which is a clear reference to Harry Potter.
If we use the same logic as the people that believe in this particular theory, then that would mean there would have to be an actual Harry Potter that exists in the GTA universe. Plus, GTA 5 only came out a few years after Red Dead 1, so obviously the devs are going to make references to their previous game.
Now, we're not saying that Jack doesn't become a writer. In fact, we think it's the most reasonable theory to make. However, I don't think that we should use Easter eggs in GTA as evidence to prove this theory.
The Suicide Theory. This is a theory I don't see too many people talking about. For this, we're going to start breaking down the headspace of Jack Marston. Many people can agree that Jack Marston has probably the most depressing outcome of all the gang members. Yeah, he lives, but he's also subjected to some of the worst pain any person can go through. He's lived his whole life in fear, caught in the middle of gunfights since he was a child, fearing that every time his father left the house, he might not ever see him again. Then finally losing his father and uncle to the hands of the government on the same day, then finally losing his mother soon after.
Everyone that Jack cared and loved for is now dead. He's been through all of this in his life and he's not even 20 yet. All of these events happening in such a short amount of time has to give him some pent-up aggression and trauma. This is reflected in some of the voice lines in Red Dead when you play as him.
I've got nothing to live for anyway. Blame my parents. I do. Looks like I'll be joining my pa in hell.
It's sort of a parallel to a movie called The Punisher. In this movie, Frank Castle achieves his goals by killing those responsible for his family member's death. Sounds familiar? In the end, Frank Castle tries to kill himself because he feels he has no purpose. Yeah, he got his revenge, but was it worth it? Jack Marston kills the man that brought him years of pain and suffering, but he's not yet satisfied. His family is still dead, and he's still alone, living at the ranch that probably still triggers all the bad memories.
Killing Edgar Ross didn't achieve anything. If anything, it probably caused more issues for him in the long run. As you heard, he says himself that he has nothing to live for. So is it out of the realm of possibility that Jack might have ended up taking his own life? There are lots of articles that say Jack lives to the 1990s living a long, happy life, but none of this is confirmed by anyone.
No one knows what happened to Jack. Only Rockstar does. Will we ever know what happens to Jack? We can only hope, but until then, let's keep theorizing.
Okay. We are going to play some Tomodachi Life. I know you guys can hear it. I'm just trying to find it. There we go. I thought it was an interesting video. Pretty good summarizing, theorizing, and stuff. Okay. You're evil, bruh. I made Mordecai and Twilight sparkle. That's by the scary hospital.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much. Ooh, a tree costume. I like the superhero outfit. Hey, yo, non-binary colors! Gustavo? Are you talking about in my streams or random people's streams? Oh, Taco's pissed.
I'm in the middle of a...
Oh, should have left. Ain't a bridge going on at all. Grr. I'm in the middle of a fight. Ah.
Oh, man.
There's so much going on, oh my god. Alright, Captain, I hope you have a good day. You're not spamming, you're all good. Hope you have a good day, Captain. Thank you for stopping in.
Well, anyway, huh? Hey, good afternoon. And that's the Twindoodle. Okay.
Why won't you admit how great Top Duke is?
I don't even know who Top Duke is.
Trapped. The breeze feels nice. Oh, hey there, Emote Lab.
Trapped.
I'm in the middle of a fight.
What? Emote Lab, afternoon.
I'm glad that you're friends with Miku.
Gravelly's map. Ooh. Oh man, Potato, did you hear the news about Just Dance? Oh, yeah. I heard about that a what? Totally different.
Oh god, Volpe's pissed off now.
Sure. I don't usually get angry, but I sure am angry right now. I got into a fight with Mithril.
You should
Not
make
until
up.
I calmed down.
Eat a Korean pepper. Okay, never mind. That didn't work at all. Oh, she liked it. That's good.
Thank you. Phew, that helps. Sorry about before.
I'm sorry Miku doesn't like you. Aw, they're apologizing.
We were able to clear the air.
Hey, 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 hey. Help me clear my mind.
That one was impossible.
Phew.
Why do you keep calling her Migu instead of Miku? Miss Hatsune Miku.
Oh, I think.
I don't know why my husband's stressed out from waffles.
Grr. I don't you. I got it. Not until.
Migu, why are you a pickaxe?
I got it. Not until. Now, when I'm already full. Phew, that helped.
It doesn't help when you walk out and you're like apologizing.
Sorry about before.
I'm sorry too.
Aw, sweet.
We were able to clear the.
The goods. I think you want a toy sword.
Thank you. I really wanted this. Yeah, grab and snap elbow. Silence.
I know.
You really helped me. What? We haven't met yet, have we? My name is Dusty Bunny. Hey, Dusty Bunny! Celebrity autograph.
Huh? Sup? Could you bring me some clothes that make me look more mature? I don't.
You look great how you are.
It's your turn to. What?
Heads.
Heads.
Aw, fuck you.
Aw, too bad. It's tails.
That is fiery.
Hey, you can't win them all. But you can get
Fiery
this as a
told me to make
consolation
them.
prize.
I've already seen that one.
What a weird dream. Oh. What's up?
You know, Sergeant Sapien, I'm about to take a nap too. I'm really tired. I'm dead ass really exhausted. I'm gonna go out to the bar tonight with some friends at like 8 p.m. So maybe getting a nap in will be good. How have you been, Sergeant Sapien?
Aw. Such a strange dream. Oh. What's up?
I got to the color part, and I was gonna stream that today, but I'm not in the mood to deal with the color part. You're having car issues again, but you're feeling better. That's good. I'm glad you're feeling better. I am EB. So tomorrow I am not streaming at all, actually, because I need to, I'm going to an anime convention. I'm going to Chibi Chibi Con. And then I'm gonna hang out with my friends at nighttime again. I am so tired. That'd be nice if you could help me with it, Sergeant Sapien. I really appreciate it. The problem is Saturdays I have off with my husband, and those are like our day. So I would have to figure something out. I don't know. Thank you, Bubble. I appreciate that. It's really gonna be fun. It's not just an anime convention. It's like an anything. It's an anything convention, but it's a one-day thing. Find you a waifu. There's many waifus there. But the problem is they're kind of sweaty waifus. You know, my hair's kind of... I'm just making me, honestly. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to go to the anime convention. Last year I went as Kobeni from Chainsaw Man, and that was really fun. I'm going with my bestie, Volpe. I am the best Taku. Yeah, I'm gonna be hanging out with Volpe. My hubby is gonna be working. Technically, I have rainbow glasses, but I can't do that in the game. That's supposed to be me, Sergeant Sapien. I'm just a girl. Oh, I don't think of those as buck teeth.
My name is Taku too.
I have wavy hair.
My name is Taku too. It's nice to meet you. My name is Taku too. It's nice to meet you. Today is May 15th,
Oh, you have curl. I don't have curly hair. I have wavy hair. Wavy, wavy. I'm quick. Well, I'm kind of slow. I'm very honest. My energy is varied. Pretty chill. I'm very quirky. Alright guys, I'm going to take a little nap.
Huh.
Weavy here is pretty cool.
Hey there. It's nice to meet you, bruh. I'm Taku too. I'm an outgoing merrymaker. I can't wait to start living here.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for stopping in if you did. Goodbye, Sergeant Sapien. Goodbye, Bubble. Hope you guys nap or sleep well or whatever you guys are doing. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I might be back in an hour or two.